Hey, welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz, everybody. I'm Chuck Leonard. Every Thursday, we go to Old Town Mariposa. Let's bring in Bob Borchard from Bet's Gold Coin. Bob, how's it going?
It's going really good.
Oh my gosh, you know, what do you guys have going on in Mariposa this weekend?
This weekend, well, let me first start off by talking a little bit about something I learned this weekend.
This past weekend?
During
the reenactment?
Yes, during the Civil War reenactment, I discovered that we are on spring break. And
You're on spring break?
Spring break.
Spring break.
And people are actually, you know, with their families, they're getting kids in the car and they're going someplace fun to be with their kids, and Mariposa is a hot destination. So I thought what I'd do is talk a little bit about some of the family things that, because this is still going on, you know. I mean,
well, spring break's kind of broken up. It used to just be for the week of Easter. Now different schools do it at different times. It might be the week before Easter. It might be the week after. It might run for 2 weeks all together. But I'll just mention to you guys right now that are a family, you know, the 3-hour drive to the coast, it's a little rough when you have little kids. About an hour and 15 minutes up to Mariposa from Fresno, just about enough.
well, let me say, an hour and 15 minutes from Fresno up Highway 99 to Merced, and take a right at Merced on Highway 140, because that's the ride a lot more enjoyable. The entrance into Mariposa County up the Highway 140 corridor is phenomenal. You get to see the cattle country, the transition from the foothills into the Sierras proper, the Guadalupe Mountains, and the little road going up. It's
and that area is really popping right now with wildflowers, isn't it?
It is. They're on the wane. They're starting to dry out pretty fast, but you know, spring is still charging the waterfalls up in Yosemite, and the fun things for kids to do in Mariposa. What a lot of people are doing is using Mariposa as a staging area, because we have 300 motel rooms within walking distance of Old Town Mariposa. So they have entertainment, they have food, they have shopping, and they have a bus connection so they can drive up the Merced River Canyon, that wild and scenic canyon, into Yosemite National Park. They spend the day in Mariposa doing fun things. They spend another day in Yosemite doing fun things. And it's
come back to Mariposa that night and do fun things. Because
yes.
One of the things that has just absolutely blown my mind about Mariposa is the talent. The musical talent up there is more plentiful than anywhere I've been in my whole life.
Well, let's talk about this weekend. Next weekend we have a fly-in coming in, but this weekend is a gem and mineral show, and maybe if we could flip to the picture.
Well, right there, that's the fairgrounds.
The Gem and Mineral Show, the Mining and Mineral Museum used to be in San Francisco in the old Ferry Building.
Right.
And many years ago, when I was still working for the county, we found out that they were going to close it down and put the collection in storage. So Mariposa County, in its infinite wisdom, decided to go and talk to the State Division of Mines and Geology and see if they would entertain the proposal of moving that collection to some place that would embrace it.
To the southern tip of Lode.
Exactly.
Right.
And so we built a mineral facility for it on our Mariposa County Fairgrounds. And there's a lot of history and tradition, because we talked about the mineral exhibit coming home, because we are the Mother Lode. We're part of where gold was discovered. It has significant mining history in the state of California. The picture in front of you, of course, shows the old plaster, and that was how gold was first discovered. That's called a long tom, and what they do, of course, is they put gravel in it and then they wash water over it and the gold out of it.
And the gold would stick because it's a little heavier. Is that how it works? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so the first mining experience in Mariposa was in the streams. And by the way, you can still placer gold out of that. You can get a gold pan and go down to the creek and find gold.
Right in the Merced River?
You don't find a lot in the Merced. Merced's got a lot of mining claims on it, so you got to be careful where you go. But the Mariposa Creek and back running through Mariposa, People can actually go in and dig up some sand there.
Do they
Now,
ever find any there?
there's always a little flake or something in there. The trick is on how you use the pan, and maybe someday I should get a guest on here that could
Well,
could
I've
talk a
had
little
the
bit.
guy, what's the guy's name from? Randy, right? Yeah, I've had Randy on the show from
Right.
the Gem and Mineral Museum.
Right.
And he showed me a little bit about the trick of the flick of the wrist.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a trick. This next coming up is from the Mariposa mine, and when they went from placer mining into hard rock mining, they actually found out where the gold was coming from, and it was coming out of the quartz veins. And that's what really constitutes the mother lode, is the quartz runs through that whole region from Mariposa up to Placer County and El Dorado.
That's what they would look for to know where the gold was.
The quartz veins. And if you come up the 140 corridor, you will see quartz out there in the fields. That white rock that's sticking
Uh-huh.
up, that's quartz. And some of those rocks, those aren't particularly charged with gold. There's this old story that when you see a quartz vein like that on the side of a road someplace, does it have any gold in it? The answer is probably not, because if it was, it wouldn't be there anymore.
Right.
But
Is that why they have the big quartz rock at the courthouse on that monument?
right. That's a quartz crystal as opposed to the white rock. The crystalline quartz is a whole different story. But you can learn about all that if you go to the Mining and Mineral Museum, because not only do they have the Gem and Mineral Show this weekend, but they have a world-class exhibit. And when they brought it out of San Francisco, what they did was they started exhibiting the collection so that it is now an educational experience. In the old days, the Mining and Mineral Museum was set up in San Francisco as a place to promote the mining industry. And all the mining guys would come in there with their ore samples and make a big show of donating a rich ore sample from their mine to the Division of Mine Geology, and they would put it on display. And there were boxes and boxes of rocks with gold in it, but they had to be milled down to be of any value. But it was specimens. It was probably of historical and scientific interest, but as a display. What they did when they brought it onto Mariposa was turn it into an educational display.
Right.
And they focused in on the actual minerals. It is, we have thousands of school children go up there every year to tour the Mines and Mineral Museum exhibit. They also have some mining displays. They show a model of a quartz mill. They show how modern mining techniques are carried out. They get into some of the environmental constraints and what mining and minerals mean in terms of our everyday life. It is a world-class exhibit in little backwater Mariposa. And so I guess and this weekend is special because we have a Gem and Mineral Show.
And there's people from all over the world that come to this stuff.
This is a world-class event in and of itself. And you know, once you go through the Mining and Mineral Museum, and then you go over to the show itself, the Gem and Mineral Show,
Uh-huh.
you'll have some knowledge as to what these what these crystals mean, what these ore samples look like, and why they have value. And I bet you that you can't go out of there with at least a package of rock candy.
Rock candy.
Rock candy.
Perfect for the kids, right?
Well, I sometimes share mine with the kids, but
And you guys will be super busy down at Bet's Gold Coin, won't you?
it's a good time of the year. Like I said, we're a family-friendly establishment, and so when people come to Mariposa with their families, we're a perfect place to go. We have, you know, of course, some excellent dining facilities that for, you know, a little different.
Whatever you
And,
might want,
right.
it's there.
And the motels, like I said, they're kid-friendly too. So this is a great destination. The 140 route up the Merced River Canyon to Yosemite is particularly sparkly at this time of year, and someday what I hope to do is come on here and talk a little bit about some of the fun things you could do on the Merced River.
I
and
can't
bring
wait.
recreation. But
I can't wait.
But right now, we're talking about the Mineral Museum. Next weekend, we have the fly-in, the air show, and I will bring in some stuff. That's another fun kid thing.
I saw some video of that, very cool. I can't wait to see that next week. Bob Borchard from Bet's Gold Coin, Old Town Mariposa. Always good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back on The Buzz.
CentralValleyTalk.com